full release update number 2 since launch came out today for Endzone, and I just wanted to go over a couple of the bigger changes that I've already noticed that I think are going to be some great quality of life improvements. One of them, immediately upon loading into one of my older games, is that you'll have an announcement a few seasons ahead of time when a raider attack is on the way. So they'll give you a heads up, and then we also see that they're going to be coming from this way. I think that's going to prevent the kind of save scumming thing that was going on, where as soon as the raider would arrive, you could save right then, and then depending on where they spawned, you could always reload that save for a more defensible approach. Like, say this was the only area of mine that had walls and towers, I could potentially keep reloading until they came from this way rather than this way. Perhaps I didn't have any defenses over here yet, and that would certainly mean the death. So I kind of like that it's predetermined, so that not only can you not cheese it, but you also have time to set up defenses over here if necessary. So I'm just going to say let's do it to there. Um, Another thing that's noticeable is knowledge has been moved up here, which I kind of like because it is, I mean, you're supposed to be treating it like a resource. So I do still have it down here. I think this is because of it's an older save. If I were to start a new game, this isn't here anymore. So, and actually, yeah, both are shortcuts to your research. So you don't have to go finding your research center. This would just be an easy, I mean, this is usually what I would click, but this is also an easy way to do it as well. Another thing is population growth. This should make it a little more clear how your population is doing. Right now I have a constant population, and this new graph is determined by how many people you have in houses that are currently fertile. So I imagine if this was lit up similar to the red arrow that used to be right here, or the red arrow that used to be right here, that typically showed that you had less children born this season than the previous season. Or if it was a green up arrow, you had more children born this season than the previous season. Now this should make it a little more clear how your population is doing, and allow you to make adjustments. Another big one was medication. I even remember putting this as feedback, but it was just a little too easy to keep your medical facility stocked through how easy it was to collect herbs and how much the medical facility produced. So, just to check, I'm going to go to inventory and destroy resources, destroy all this medicine because I don't know the exact number. But, I mean, in a typical playthrough, obviously this is a pretty big one. I used to just have like one person collecting herbs and maybe a couple people in the facility. So now instead of 20, I believe it was per herb, it looks like they're doing only about 5 per herb, which is far more reasonable. I don't mind this nerf at all. I think that's perfectly acceptable. So now, earlier game, it might be necessary to fully stock your one herbal hut, though I don't think I would still encourage more than one herbal hut early on. Uh, like, as opposed to one herbal hut with a one worker, it might be beneficial to get a couple more people on there. And likewise, it's probably optimal to just have all 3 people manning that hospital. So if it's currently season 451, I should have until about season 453, I believe. I think they give you a 3 season heads up, or maybe 454, to prepare for that Raider wave. Field of work is another big one. So how the market used to work is that you would just kind of have to guess and place it, though. Huh. Based on the patch notes, it made it sound like it would kind of be similar to Water Tower, where the things light up like this depending on where it's collecting from. So if I wanted collecting from all 3 of these jetties, you can see how the jetties are lit up, and that shows its field of work. Maybe I'll have to start a new game for this, but that was kind of my impression on the patch notes as well, is that by like bringing it down here, all of these tailor shops and recyclers would then be lit up because that's what it shows where these people are going to be collecting for the market. And then, as well, field of work. Let's see if we can. I got an irrigator here. Now, if I were to go to build irrigation, this is so nice. I love this. There's no more guesswork in wondering where you're going to put your irrigation plants. I used to kind of like click this and be like, okay, well, this is its field of work. So if I wanted to overlap, I need to put it right about, and I was always guessing. This is great. This needed to happen a long time ago, and I'm so glad they did something like this. Similar is the watchtowers. Oh, and that's actually a new button as well. Available militia are allotted to watchtowers in this area first. So, oh, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, likewise, if we know that the raider attack is coming from this way, instead of just assigning all 620 militia, I could potentially just have this guarded by making this my priority. So I want these towers filled first. There should be 40 people between these four towers over anything else. I don't need, if I only have 400 people to work it, I don't need people running over here to man the guard towers. Plus, say they already got in, maybe I could plan their escape by thinking, okay, they're probably going to come over here next to try to get out. So why don't we prioritize this one next? Oh, and I can put multiple. Oh my goodness. This is so great. I love it. I love it. Do I have to clear them manually though? I guess I kind of wish there's a little bit easier way to do that, but I'm not too worried about it. That doesn't take too long as long as you remember where you put them. I kind of wish, well, I mean, plus say I had 3 of them, I could just circle through them like this if I needed to be sure that I've cleared them all out. So we'll destroy that one. Go to the next one. Oh yeah, I put one over here. Go to the next one. Oh yep, there's still one more right here. I don't want them in there anymore. I want them down here. I want I want these 4 towers. I want these 3 towers, and I want these 2 towers, something like that. And now your militia is going to prioritize to defend this area. Really nice. Um, oh, okay. And what I was trying to get to before I got sidetracked is it's the same thing with watchtowers. Look at that. Now I know that these all these places are pretty heavily guarded. So if I was trying to figure out what area is a little bit susceptible, okay, I could still put one right here. um, this is really cool. It gets a little busy, but I mean, I don't mind. That's great. Now I know my settlement is pretty heavily defended. That's for sure. And of course, you still have your efficiency tag under there, so I know that there's no point in putting one right here, or else it'd be 60% efficiency. Plus, it's already pretty heavily guarded between these two anyway. So great change there as well. Why not? Let's stick one right here. It'll fit. And we need to protect those storage depots. So, another great field of work one here. When placing an orchard or a cultivated field, you can see where your irrigators are already going to have a area of influence, which is also great. Now I don't. There's no guesswork in wondering if I put an orchard right here, is the irrigator going to cover it? If I put it right here, is the irrigator going to cover it? I can say, okay, that's perfect right there. Barricades now also trigger the AoE effect of a watchtower. So if I were to already have this watchtower down, I'm not sure if, why don't we try that, if construction applies. I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to put a barricade down. Yeah, so I can already see the range of effect of a barricade so that I know that I want this within range of a watchtower, because there's really no point in building it out here to slow down raiders that haven't even reached a firing range yet. So that'll be nice. And while I kind of thought it would be nice to have an area of effect on the barricade, that's not actually how it works. So it's specified in the tooltip that it's based on the raider's area of effect. So when you have a raider wave coming in, you'll see a little circle around them. As long as their circle comes into contact with a barricade, that means they're being slowed down. So obviously this amount is a little overkill because I don't believe they stack. And I wish that it would kind of tell you like what are they slowed by, 10%, 30%, 50%. And even if that is true, say it's 30%, I don't think it would stack. So it wouldn't be 30, 60, 90, 120. Obviously that means they would be fully stopped because of these barricades. But it is nice to at least know that I'm putting them down in a reasonable position now. Also, we now know that if you are successful at defeating a raider wave, which I'll check out here, let's just kind of get through this. It should be coming in the next couple seasons. They will drop loot now, so it's a little bit more enticing to actually kill a raider wave. So I'd like to get through these next few seasons, assign a bunch of people to militia. We're going to check out the field of work since I know they're coming from here. I would like to. I mean, I've got plenty of. Whoa. Look at this. Pause buildings. Production buildings and construction sites in one area are forced to pause. Okay. So this is an AoE thing as well. Very cool. I don't want to pause any of that stuff. But that's interesting. If I were to pause, wow, and it shows you what's going to be paused. Oh my goodness. Very cool. So let's unpause again. Huh. Okay. I'm trying to imagine. I mean, just a little shortcut. I'm trying to imagine, I guess, what the benefit of that would be. My rainwater collector's covered. That's new, I think. Just that little graphic to it. That's different. I didn't see anything in the... I might have to review the patch notes again. I'm wondering if that affects... I still wish we could control where people drink from it. I wonder if people are allowed to drink from this still. Well, it's covered, so it's not gathering rainwater. Cool. Okay. My population is currently going down because I just made a bunch of those shelters old and infertile, which I'm fine with. I've got plenty of people here. Gotta make sure I'm gonna have enough stuff to keep them covered with, though. We're looking alright. This is all settlers. Upgrade buildings. This is going to be a good one. So that would be a nice shortcut. Say I have 6 of my regular tailor shops here and I just want them all done. My research is just finished. I could just highlight all 6 of these like that and get them up and running. So here's another one. I don't currently... Do I have electricity to that? No, my electricity is a mess right now. It's fine. I'm not going to get into it. But say I wanted to upgrade that well to an electric water pump. It'd be an easy way to do it. Here's something that could be upgraded. My temporary storage room. You could just highlight that. Maybe there's like 6 of them all placed together and you just highlight in all at once. That's really nice. Demolish buildings. Maybe I'm ready to get rid of a bunch of stuff. Just highlight all of that. Tell them to get rid of all of it. Can't, obviously, the opposite. Maybe highlighted too many or didn't want to get rid of it after all. Easy shortcut there. This is really good. I'm just obsessed with this one. Maybe I want to plant it here. Whatever. You can have as many as you want, so I might as well. Here. Here. Means they're going to run here first. In fact, why don't we start getting people in there, so make sure they're nice and stockpiled on bullets. I haven't played this map in so long, I can't really remember what my numbers are, but got 9,000 mile bullets in stock. That should be plenty. Siren Tower is probably, yeah, complaining about electricity. I accidentally built them way too close together. I don't know what I was thinking here, and then I just didn't even bother to fix it. That's fine. We're just going lethal anyway. I'm not going to bother with the rubber bullets and all that stuff. It's kind of interesting coming back to these old maps that you once played when you didn't quite have the same knowledge of the game. Here we go. All right, I'm going to refuse to pay tribute. Another note to make here really quick. I should have done it while it was still expiring, but another kind of save scumming thing that was going on. You saw the green bar down here at the bottom. It was a timer, and what you could do is just let that completely run out. Then when it got to about right here, you could save the game, then immediately reload the game. Obviously, it'd still be in the exact same spot, season 456, but this would have reset to 100%. And you could technically just keep letting that almost expire, save, reload, almost expire, save, reload. I had never figured that out or really taken advantage of that, but it sounds like other people were, and I'm really glad that they fixed that. So now, if I were to let this run out, save and reload, it would still be at 10%. It wouldn't reset to 100% anymore. Okay, here they come. And in fact, why don't we take everyone off water? I want to make sure this is completely full, just because I have I've got the population to do it. So why not? That's 630. Let's replace those builders to get ready for the damage these guys are going to inflict. And we should be ready to go here. I'm not sure if this combat music is new. That's nice. They're trying. They're just trudging through. That's it. Okay. Let's see if I had the impression that maybe there'd be some little boxes that they would drop, be picked up and carried away. I'm not seeing any little physical boxes, but view losses. They killed 5 of my militia. They destroyed a building. They damaged 56 buildings. I used 512 bullets. No rubber bullets. I didn't have that. They took some water and wood. Repair costs. Okay, I think this is what it's going to repair to. We beat the attackers. We're able to gather up some of the gear they had with them. Some of those things could provide to be extremely useful. Awesome. So I got 271 tools, a bunch of berries, some neck scarves, a ton of water, and a bunch of walnuts. All right. This would be, I think, also. I mean, we're so late game that I'm not. Everything's researched anyway, but this might be a good place to, similar to Frostpunk, maybe introduce some relics or something you could pick up off them, or maybe they drop some knowledge, or I don't know, you could explain it as they drop blueprints to an electric water pump, something like that. I like that it's enticing at all now. I mean, it's great that they provide something. Oh, okay. And here's another thing. There's now a scale of how damaged your buildings are. So, as a condition of 90%, this is still green. This is getting into the orange at about 50, a little lower than 50% here. We have red at 26%, and we have black at 0%. It used to be, as I'm sure you know, from like 100 to 1%, it was just red. Then at 0%, it turned black, and that means it's completely destroyed. Those are the only. I mean, that's a nice scale because say it's your first sandstorm and you just took some damage, you could check the damage and be like, it's not that bad. I don't want to allocate those resources at the moment. So why don't we just disable build and repairs and focus on something more important? So I appreciate that change as well.